Hi everyone, happy Halloween. Today is October 31st, 2016, and this is my Everything Scorpio video live feed. I've been doing a few of these now, and I hope you'll join me. So if you're out there and you want to learn a little bit about Scorpio energy, if you are a Scorpio or you have a Scorpio moon sign, or let's say you're a Sagittarius, but you've got 5 planets in Scorpio, then you might want to watch this video and learn about Scorpio energy and what the Scorpios in your life most need. You know, Scorpio is so deeply misunderstood. They're thought of as the sign of sex, and that's about as deep as it goes. But Scorpio is so intensely and insanely deep. And if you've ever been involved with a Scorpio, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So if your moon sign, your sun sign, or your rising sign is Scorpio, then you've got really incredible, intense scorpionic energy inside of you. And so maybe you'll want to take part in this video. And if you want to give me a thumbs up or a little bit of love, I'd appreciate it. And I hope that I create some evocative and provocative new thoughts for you regarding Scorpio energy. So if you were born between October 23rd and November 21st, you're a Scorpio. And if you know anybody born at that time, they are a Scorpio sun sign. But you may also feel like this even if your moon sign is in Scorpio. So let's talk about what it means to be a Scorpio. When you come from the light side or the high side, when you are your highest, best self, you are the magician, the true shaman, the transformer, the manifester. You are so highly capable and so incredibly powerful. You carry a power inside of you that is covert, that is stealth, and that is laser-like, that has X-ray vision and can move mountains just thinking about moving mountains. So if you're involved with somebody who has that kind of potent power, you know that it can be kind of exciting and also simultaneously intimidating and also simultaneously at times disturbing. But it is absolutely incredible the power inside the Scorpio moon. These people have an emotional depth that is like none other. These people are the ones that will fall on their sword to save you. These are probably the people who rushed the cockpit to save the flight, or jumped in front of the moving subway to save the child who accidentally fell. I mean, these are our courageous heroes, and they have a grit and a capacity that makes the Aries, if you will, look, well, not mild. That would be an understatement or an overstatement. But let me just put it this way. Scorpio has kind of a Batman superpower to them, that when they use it for their highest self or to better society or help others, there's nothing more powerful. James Bond is the quintessential Scorpio, if you will. So is Batman. And they basically, Scorpio's purpose in life is to find value. And they usually find value through deep transformation. They like to make deep meaning in their life. They're not small talkers. They don't like a lot of chit chat. They don't like fake frivolous things. They're intense. And they're here to create a legacy that is usually built out of transforming crisis and chaos and deep pain. They're here to basically develop unflinching courage and learn how to dance with death, divorce, and destruction with the art of grace. And when they learn that, they truly have come into themselves. They have come into their power. So if you were a caterpillar and you were a Scorpio caterpillar, and I came to you and I said, you lived on one leaf your whole life. And I said to you, look, I'm going to amputate all your legs. And in exchange for that, I'm going to give you 2 wings, and you're going to be able to travel the entire world and you're going to be able to have freedom and joy and happiness and glee and go anywhere and try new foods and listen to all different kinds of music. You would say to me, absolutely not. Don't take my legs. Don't take my legs. I want my legs. Because you know no different. So Scorpio is just that. When they move through the crisis, in this case, the amputation of the 100 legs, and they do so with courage, and they get their 2 wings. They move through their crisis, they move through their chaos, they face their destruction, they face divorce, they face death squarely in the eyes. They go where angels fear to tread. And when they embrace it and they move through it, they find that they kind of develop a healing power that they can then give to others who also suffer. And they can help transform not only their life, but others' lives. And this is their magic, potent power inside of them. They are the true healers. They're shamans. Now, what's interesting is when you walk around and you know the pain and the suffering and the crisis and the sadness that belongs to death and divorce, and you know it so rawly because these people feel pain so deeply and so intensely, and they can feel your pain that intensely too. They can actually merge inside of you and embrace your pain and actually sometimes live it out for you. They have this pain, but it's usually very quiet and it's inside and you don't see it. Just like you don't see Batman in pain or you don't see James Bond ever being vulnerable. This is not a sign that can show vulnerability, not easily. And if they do, they probably can show it to maybe one person. But they root for the underdog oftentimes because oftentimes they feel like they are the underdog. Again, they don't wear that as a persona, but oftentimes they feel so alienated and so alone that they too feel silently and secretly that they are fighting for a cause too. Scorpio rules the FBI, the CIA, detectives, research, mysteries. They are everything secret and secretive. And they don't communicate a bunch because they have such a deep internalized processor that they communicate to themselves, and they also fear a little bit of revealing to you that which they think. If you really knew all the gore and the grit and the gritty, dirty details that your Scorpio was thinking, you probably would blow your own circuitry. And this they fear. They fear that they might blow out your circuitry, your conduit, and theirs. They almost can't handle the depth of their emotion, so they don't share it frequently or easily. You really have to earn it, and you have to probe for it. And they'll make you work hard at it. They'll make you work hard peeling their onion or getting to know who they are because they don't trust easily. They're very secretive because they have a depth of emotion, and revealing it makes them feel vulnerable. And vulnerability is not what they're good at. But they have a potent healing agent inside of them, and that is their ability to move through suffering. And so therefore, they can help others move through their suffering too. I'll tell you, when you are with an unhealthy Scorpio, what's really difficult and really hard is they over-identify with their wound. They over-identify with that which wounds them. That's why sometimes they like the unavailable partner or the person who can hurt them, or they set themselves up to fail. They sometimes can be masters at self-sabotage because they over-identify with the wound. And what happens is the wound becomes their identity. So that wounded piece of them becomes their identity. It becomes their pulse. And it's how they know they're alive. It's how they know they feel intensely and deeply. And that wound, when unhealthy, never heals, because if I heal it, then I do not know who I am. If I heal that wound, I will not know who I am. And sometimes an unhealthy Scorpio believes that they have to suffer in order to be tapped into the depths of life. Because see, they don't want to be in frivolous life. They want to be in a deeply meaningful, potent life. One that is gritty, one that is gory, one that is tough, one that is challenging. They love challenges. Now, when Scorpio is not healthy, it plays a very masterful mind game, I should say, of psychological warfare. Psychological warfare. So if you are an enemy in their game, good luck. If you're an ally, how fantastic for you, because they'll figure out the entire puzzle. These people play like the knight in a game of chess. Up 2 and over 1, or over 2 and up 1. They can see around corners. They can bend spoons. They can. They can bend spoons. Trust me, I have my PhD, my pretend PhD in Scorpio. I know Scorpio really, really well. And, you know, at their very best, they truly and genuinely are the ones that will be there for you. They can handle anything. There is nothing Scorpio can't handle. They are unafraid, they are fearless, and they are loyal. And if they love you, they will fall on their own sword for you. If you're on the Titanic, say a prayer that you're sitting next to a Scorpio that actually really likes you. Because if your Scorpio likes you, they will do anything it takes to save you and rescue you from yourself, from the world, from death, from destruction, and from loss. Now, if you've met a Scorpio and they haven't suffered from some sort of destruction, if they have not been devastated, if they have not been divorced or affected deeply by divorce, or if they have not experienced death, then they're probably not really a Scorpio. Now, I say that kind of tongue in cheek, but Scorpios will transform out of crisis. And I'm not talking little crisis, like, oh, I got into a car accident or wrapped my car around the tree and I lived and I'm okay. Not that that's little, but I'm talking deeper than that. Really intense crisis. And at best, they're the healers and the shamans on our planet. And because they are unafraid, they have so much courage to teach us. And they're role models of courage for us. They, when they think about life bigger than themselves and how my life and my energy can truly help others transform, that's when they are their very best selves. So think of these Scorpios. Now remember, Scorpio is not frivolous. So the first one I want you to think about is Condoleezza Rice. You know, very intense. Like, she looks like sometimes she always has a scowl on her face. I very rarely even see her smile. I'm sure she's a perfectly lovely, brilliant, smart, wonderful, loyal, wouldn't you say loyal, person. But Scorpios rarely raise their hands way above their head. They rarely are the ones, you know, jumping on the trampoline with their hands up in the air. They usually smile when they're happy. When they want to show glee, they'll do a woohoo and a smile. But they rarely show this unbridled enthusiasm because it's too frivolous. They're intense. So I want you to think of Leonardo DiCaprio. Some of his best roles. Now, I'm not saying they're not funny. They are funny, but usually it's cynical humor. It's a dry wit. It's a perceptive truth and humor. And so think of Leonardo DiCaprio when he accepted his Oscar, right? He wanted to take that moment to truly transform the earth and send a bigger message, to be of deep value in the transformation of mankind and life. We also have Christopher Columbus. And if you know the author, Dostoevsky, the Russian author, wow, he's so scorpionic. All of his themes, you can't read his books and not just have your soul and your heart just ripped wide open, just wide open, just gushing with, you know, pain, suffering, and agony, with a message to help others transform. Think about Christopher Columbus and Claude Monet. I like Claude Monet because when you look at his paintings, you see a melancholy in them. You see the lily pads really speaking to you. Oftentimes Scorpio has their pulse on the melancholy in life, on the bittersweet. They love irony. They love it. They're the most psychic and intuitive of the signs, I think. Well, Pisces and Cancer are right there with Scorpio, but Scorpio has an X-ray vision into the motives and motivations of others. And so they can oftentimes really penetrate the soul. And then if they're an artist, they can deliver it so others can completely relate. On the low side, like just the lowest of the low in the Scorpios is Charles Manson. So if you think of Charles Manson, he embodies everything horrifying and horrible about ego-driven Scorpios. So Scorpio's birthday, you probably know one. You're celebrating them right now. Go until November 21st. I hope you found this helpful, and come check out all my other signs on my www.soulnavigation.com website. And happy birthday, Scorpio. Also, today is the new moon in Scorpio. It is Halloween, and it is an absolutely incredible day for divine connection. So put out your prayers and your wishes on this Scorpio new moon. And if you are a Scorpio, this is your dynamite day. This is the most powerful day of the year for you. So it's when divine connection can really reach you. So put out your new moon wishes tonight. And until I see you next time, we'll be on Sagittarius. I hope you have a wonderful, happy Halloween and new moon in Scorpio. Bye for now.